How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming, I've been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This'll be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
Good morning and welcome to Terrific Trifecta Terry Tuesday. There's a 4-letter T alliteration right there. Maybe I'll find a fifth for next week.
Yeah, sounds good.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of sounding good, we had a father-son duo last night of Greg and Will Sacco on with Jamie and Sean on Horse Center. Hopefully you had a chance to catch that last night. Terry, what were your thoughts?
I did. I liked it a lot. It reminded me a little bit of me and my son. And I did invite him to bring some horses to Golden Gate Fields like I usually do. So,
of course. Well, we wouldn't expect anything less from you, Terry, than to be consistent and make certain that everybody knows that they're indeed loved and welcomed out in Terry's town in Oaktown there, or close to Oaktown anyway. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, join us again with Sean and Jamie. I'll be on tomorrow night as Jamie has a family event to take care of. Congratulations for you and your family on that, Jamie. Martina Rojas will join Sean and Jamie tonight at 8 p.m. to make sure you don't miss Martina or Terry inviting her out to Gulfstream Park as a jockey, as no other nefarious intentions there. Tell us what people ought to do, Terry.
Well, first of all, I'm going to invite her to Golden Gate Fields, not Gulfstreams. But
the first thing that goes to brain. Well, I mean, Gulfstream's not bad either.
No, I like Gulfstream. I've been there. It's really nice. Well, you should follow us on YouTube and subscribe. Hit the little bell so that you get notification about all of our different programs. Go to our social site, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Give us thumbs ups and likes. And also let all your friends, neighbors, and relatives know so that they can come and enjoy it too. So,
indeed, it sounds like a good idea. Good morning, Charles. The most difficult track to handicap, Golden Gate, not for Terry. Terry lights it up, baby.
Yeah.
How do you think he affords that prime rib lifestyle from his winnings at Gulfstream Park?
Well, I've been going there for like over 60 years, so I should know something about it.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily bank my hat on 60 years being the answer, because we were just talking about that before we got on. And how if you see like these commercials for the new drugs and they have all these side effects, and we're saying yes, they should have one for age, like this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. What's also going to happen today is Fort Erie is going to open up, and if you go to Guaranteed Tip Sheet down in the description below, you will see that it is our free track of the day. Papa's Silver going to open up the card and the meet as a best bet at 9-2. Again, you can check that out down there in the description below. Make sure you click on that. And then tomorrow, I don't know, Terry, should we go with opening day? And maybe we'll put this to a vote. Free track tomorrow at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Are we going to go opening day at Delaware Park, or are we going to go with Parx? Put your votes in the comment section. Let me know, and then I'll make sure that that's the free track tomorrow. Terry, what do you think about that?
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, people can have a say at that then.
Again, down in the vote below, Parx or Delaware Park for the free track tomorrow at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Today, we're going to go after, as we do on Tuesdays with Terrific Terry Tuesdays, we're going to go with Parx in race number 1, 4.5 furlongs. It's a maiden special weight for $45,000. Terry, they've only run one race at that distance, and that race at the distance was won by a horse I think was like 4th or 5th, came off the pace to win, and did so from post positions 4 through 7. One race is not a good data set. We don't have any data to go ahead and do our simulations, so this is just straight up old-fashioned handicapping, intuition, and guesswork, and we came to the same conclusion on the first 3.
That's right. Yeah, there's those 2-year-old babies never been out, so it's really hard to tell who's going to win. But I like number 6, Harp's Hot Corner. He's a first-time starter whose dam has 10 winners from 10 starters, and 3 of those were stakes winners. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and a really good workout on May 16th. Number 2, Heavy Timber. As a first-time starter, he finished 4th in his last race as a favorite. Has a high percentage jockey, and blinkers are added today. Got a good workout on May 13th. 5, Yo-Yo Candy, first-time starter, whose dam has 4 winners from 6 starters, has a good workout good workouts in a row, 2 of them. And then number 1, Mr. Normandy is my long shot. Also a first-time starter. Dam has 1 winner from 2 starters, and the breeding suits today's distance. I'm going to play a $1 daily double, the 1, 2, 5, and 6 with the
You
1,
don't
2,
want to just
4.
add the 3 in there so you have them all?
I could, but then I'm
Seven either,
roll
but-
by 50 cents.
Uh-huh. Can't do that then. So the 3 of the 7, look out for those two. The 6-horse Harp's not hot corner, which is third base, I guess. Bryce Harper plays third. I don't know. I thought he's in the outfield. Anyway, hanging my, maybe he's a first baseman too, but that's not the hot corner. Hanging my hat on that May 9th workout at Parx, 4 furlongs, 47-4 was the fastest of 28 and the best workout of any horse in this race. Heavy Timber is the only experienced horse in the race, was the 8-5 favorite, as you mentioned, in the debut. Maybe get some improvement in round 2. Number 5, Yo-Yo Candy, does have a nice couple of works getting prepped for today. And then finally, Bali Amor. I'm going to go with the 7 over your 1, Terry, as the long shot in here. This one's been working out at Parx, whereas the one's been working out Mr. Normandy at Penn. Not the biggest fan of the Penn to Parx angle. So I'm going to go with a superfecta here, a little bit different. I'm going to go with the 6, with the 2-5, with the 2-5-7, and all for 50 cent superfecta, Terry. Let's see if we can bring that one home to start the day.
All right.
All right. So how long do we have to the first race here?
About 4 minutes.
We got plenty of time to do race number 2 then, I think. What do you say?
I think so.
Yeah, I agree. We'll just hustle on through, as they say. Race number 2 is going to be 6 furlongs, claiming $5,000. Non-winners a tune a year, which goes only back to November 23rd. So it's a half a year, I guess. 6 furlongs does favor tactical speed. There is an outside to inside bias. A little bit more than a third of the horses, Terry, carry their lead from the beginning to the end, straight into the winner's circle. In this scenario, we actually are able to do some of our simulations. Again, if you're new, 1,000 simulations using speed figures to get a sense of what fair odds might be. The lower the number, the better. Here we have 1,000 simulations to see who might be where at the quarter-mile marker. So the 2-horse, for example, has a 36% chance to be the leader at the quarter-mile marker. And then finally, C-Zone, proprietary score to us, exclusive. And this just basically means, what are the odds that this horse gets a trip that is comfortable to its best or mirrors some of its best performances? Terry, I mentioned that the 2-horse is likely to be your pace setter, but he's going to get some company.
He is. There's all these horses have some speed. The 2, of course, you said has the most, along with the 5. And, the other ones are close by. So the 4 is a really nice overlay. It's supposed to be a little under even money, and it's listed at 3-1 on the morning line. Mm-hmm. And then most of these have pretty good C zones. The 4, 6, and 2 have the best.
Yes, indeed. We notice, again, we've talked about this before. The horse scores well on 2 out of these 3 simulated categories. Usually those horses do pretty well. You can see Terry and I kind of have the same idea here. As far as race number 2 is concerned, with our way to the winner's worksheet, winner circle, this does highlight the best running style for these horses when they've performed their best. The E horses are pilots, many times lead dependent, go wire to wire. EP can be pilot or co-pilot. Ps tend to be co-pilots. PCs are the most versatile horses. They can be anywhere on the track, front, middle, back. And then, of course, the C is your closer, that being the 1-horse. Looking at this race shape, you have 4 of the 7 horses want to be up front. It's probably a little bit weighted towards the top. The speed of the speed is the 5, Leviosa, Miss Cruz. Reiterate, well, you got a lot of speed in here, Terry. Any of those 5 horses could take the lead. Which one of those has the most late speed? Well, if you call the Popo with that versatile 6-horse, that one might be able to get the job done down the stretch. It'll have some company with the closer. So those 2 fitting their running styles should be comfortable with where they're at. See Me Laugh, Reiterate, and Smooth as Glass. They get the highest combination of early speed and late speed. Terry, who has the highest combination of your favorite handicapping angles?
I like the 4, See Me Laugh. She drops in class today, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 2, Retaliate. She drops in class today and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Number one's my third pick, Penance. She ran second versus Tougher in her last race, drops in class today. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then Smooth as Glass is my long shot, the 7-horse. Drops in class today and has a trainer who wins 21% of the races when he runs them in claiming races. I'm going to do a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 1-2-4 with the 1-3-5-6 with the 2-4 and then the 7-10 in the last leg.
I'm going to go really quick because they're loading up for the first race. See me laugh, down in class. The last race was better than it looks with faster fractions. Pennis, the 1-horse, top last race speed figure, better internal pace numbers from the beginning to the end. And that was the first race for trainer Angel Castillo Sanchez. Maybe the horse can be continuing to improve for his new trainer. Reiterate, the 2-horse, down in class, consistent performer. I'm concerned with a little bit of race regression last time out. Finally, Mr. Cruz, last 2 workouts were the best back-to-back workouts this horse has had in more than 18 months, including the last one being a bullet before it goes to the track today. So I'm going to take a flyer with the 3-horse here. I'm going to do $1 exact the key box 3 over the 1-2-4 and hope that the price comes home first or second behind one of the others. Race number 1, Terry, is about to get going. I think they got to get the 3, the 5, the 6, the 7 in the gates for these first-time starters. Again, we both agree on the first 3 horses. The 6, which is the 1-2 favorite. The 2-horse is the 3-1 second choice. The 5 is the 7-2 third choice. And then everybody else after that is double digits. Again, no triple-digit horses here, but they're having a heck of a time, I think, getting the 3-horse to want to go in.
All right. Well, Rich Lane likes a box, the 6, 7, 5 in an exacta and a try. Good luck. And then Charles B likes the 5-horse in the second race. And then Christopher wants to box the 2, 4, 6.
I think that's race 2. He wants to box the 4 and the 6.
Oh, that's right. Race 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you have ideas like Christopher, like Charles, if there's anything you want to share, please, like Rich, go ahead. Let us know. That is something we welcome here. Okay, race 1. It looks like they're all set, but they are holding the tail on the 6-horse, I think, which is, they said, not the best thing because they usually don't get good breaks. And that's what we learned with Larry Ravelli. And guess what? The 6 did not get a good break. Too bad we couldn't cancel our tickets off of that one, Terry.
Yeah.
I have not failed to see that work so far. In our Horse Center show right before the Kentucky Derby, we had Larry Ravelli on, and he was talking about if they're holding the horse's tail in the gates, he's yet to see a horse get a good break doing that. And of course, right away we see the 6-horse not getting a good break after they held its tail. And right now that 5-horse has ripped to the lead. I think the 6-horse probably was the best horse in this race, Terry, but he ain't going to win because of that bad break.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's going to go 5, 2, and 6. That kills the superfecta. Should have put the 6 in second instead of first. If I had known they were going to hold his tail, Terry, I would have absolutely put him second or third.
Yeah, that's right. That's what you would have done.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I had the 4 picks in the superfecta. I should have just boxed them for a dime for $1.20. See how that worked out.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, that's, again, one of the reasons why you absolutely 1,000% want to watch the Horse Center show. You learn so much from the people that are coming on as guests. And honest to God, that was something I never knew, that if they hold the horse's tail in the starting gate, you can forget that race pretty much over.
I hadn't heard of that either. So
You remember him saying that, right?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're watching on TV and you see them holding your horse's tail and it's a speed horse, man, make sure you cancel that ticket because they do not fare well. Let's see if we can fare well in race number 3. Terry, what do you think?
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Hopefully they're not holding any tails on any of these horses in the 6 furlong maiden, claiming 25 for a purse of 28. Again, 6 furlongs, tactical speed does well. Outside to inside posts tend to do a little bit better. A little more than a third of the horses go wire to wire, Terry. In the third race, our simulations tell us that the 1-horse, Liberty for All, is the one that should try to make it all.
Yeah, try it. It looks like it's going to really go to the front, and probably if it can get out there with no trouble, maybe lead all the way. There's a small overlay on the 2. No, I'm sorry, it's large overlay. It's supposed to be like 1-2, and it's 6-1 on the morning line. And then the 2, 1, 4, 5 all have good season numbers.
And I'm going to be regretful for not having this 2 Uptown Shoes. Here you have the strongest, absolutely the strongest C-zone score with the biggest overlay. We've seen that combination fire over and over and over again. Just I hope there's a reason for that. And then you have it too as the lone E-horse in here too. A lot going on. So you got the lone E-horse. The 2-horse wants to get to the lead. If he can get to the lead, looks like he'll struggle a little bit with the 6-horse. The 1, the 3, the 4, and the 6. This group of horses has never been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line, although this is a maiden race, so they might bring a little bit something different today. Early on, finally captured. Looks like it will be one of the pace setters. On the way home, Holy Moly Moses. A little bit of a better late pace than Carrick Marcross. Uptown Shoes should be involved in the end as well. And as far as the early speed, late speed, Carrick Marcos and Uptown Shoes grade out the best. But I think I know why I put the 2-horse where I did, Terry. And we'll talk about that as we make our picks. Go ahead.
All right. I like the 3, Holy Moly Moses. Broke slow in his mating race, finishing 4th in the race. But he has a good high percentage winning trainer, and with a better break should do what better today. Number 6, finally captured, is my second choice. Has the highest last speed rating, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Liberty for All is my number 3 horse. It's the 1 horse. He was off slow in his last race as a favorite and disappointed. Should improve with Lasix being added today, and has a good 5 furlong work on make 12. And then Up for Parole is my long shot. The 5 horse has a trainer wins 29% of the races when taking a horse from a maiden race to a maiden claiming race. I'm going to play a 50-cent trifecta. I'm going to use the 136 with the 136 with the 1356.
I'm going to go with the 1 horse here. Liberty for All did flash some early speed in its debut, and it was the 6-5 favorite. So clearly they thought highly of Liberty for All. First Lasix going with that early speed, so should hold that speed longer today. Has a pair of good works, swift workouts between races. Number 6 horse, that one is finally captured. Top last race speed figure, did show improvement from beginning to the middle and the end. Up to speed number in both races post-debut. Maybe the third start off the layoff is the key for this one. Then Paco's riding, so you know you're going to get a good trip. Holy Moly Moses. Sofia Vives just keeps on winning. Consistent effort in this horse's debut. So when you look at the internal numbers, the early pace, the mid pace, and the late pace numbers, really not a lot of drop off anywhere. So I think you'll see some improvement in this race, especially with 3 good maintenance workouts between. Finally, Up for Parole. It's probably going to be Terry and I at some point. It was a tough call for me over that 2 horse, that strong overlay, but he is dropping from the maiden special weight, whereas the 2 horse has been trying to find the W at this level and hasn't found it yet. So I'm going to take the maiden special weight dropper over the one that's been toiling at this level without success. Trifecta 1-6 with the 136, although I did include the 2 in the back end here. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 for my trifecta in race number 3.
Yep.
The 4th race in a 10-race card, Terry, is 1 mile and 70 yards. A mile and 70 yards. The profile of a winner does favor horses with tactical speed. 29% so far have managed to win wire to wire. Get a little bit of a rail bonus, for there is a storm brewing. The 2 through 7 play fair, 8 and out. A little bit of a penalty, Terry, and it looks like we got a few comments to catch up on.
Yeah, that's so. Go ahead.
He says race 3 likes the 2 to win, place and show for Christopher D'Souza.
Yep.
Sophia wire to wire for Charles B in race number 3. And then Charles, I don't use Nunez at Parx. Never rides out his mount when passed. That's not good, right? Because then he ends up being out of the money when he could maybe get a 2nd or 3rd or 4th. I would think that if you're an owner or a trainer, you wouldn't be too thrilled with that either.
Yeah, and also Emil wants us to comment on the winner on race 1, which was number 5, Yo-Yo Candy, and paid $8.40 to win, $2.80 and $2.10. The exacta with the hard favorite coming in second paid $12.60 for $2. So that's not too bad.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if that, like I said, that the 6 horse, when they were holding its tail, got off to a bad break, race is over. It's probably a winner next time out, I think. So, and it'll probably go off at 1 to 2 or something like that too again. In race number 4, Terry, we talked about a third of the horses going wire to wire. If that's the case, there's a storm brewing. Has a good shot to make that happen.
Yeah, he really looks good. He's got that, rail post advantage, I think. And then there's a small overlay on the 2, which is it's supposed to be like, I don't know, 8-5, something like that. It's 2-1 on the morning line. And there's also a small overlay on the 4, even money to about 8-5 or something like that. And then the C zones, that 5, I mean, the 1 has a really nice C zone, and then the 5 and the 6 is following that up. So,
yeah, watch out for that one horse. Again, a horse that both of us overlooked. Strong C zone score, strong chance to have the lead. Is it going to be a lone E horse too over here? No, in the 5, those 2 are going to be the ones that compete for the lead. A little bit of a flexible horse with the 3 horse running for home. If you look at the early speed between the 1 and the 5, it does look like the 1 has an advantage. Jump for Alex. If he doesn't get the lead, might not factor at all. Late speed, somebody has some late speed, Terry, and that is the 4 horse. The 2 horse, What's to Blame, also got some late speed. And then running for Alex, the lone PC type, should be involved in the early pace, should be involved in the late pace. As far as the early speed, late speed combination, the 2, 3, and 4, along with Mucho Macho Eddie, they score out the best. Maybe that 1 horse blasts out to the lead and then fades at the end. It's kind of what it looks like when we look at it this way, Terry. When you look at it from your way, how does it play out?
All right. I like What's to Blame, the number 2 horse, my top pick. He won 2 races in a row at Parx Racing, was claimed by a trainer who wins 26% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse, and has a high percentage winning jockey. Somebody, number 4, is my second pick, has also won 2 races in a row at Parx Racing and has a high percentage winning trainer. Running for Home, the 3 is my third pick. Won his last race at Parx Racing and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Jump for Alex is the long shot I like. The number 5 horse drops in class today. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and its best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 2-4. I'm going to single the 10 in the 5th race. Then I'm going to use the 5, 6, 7 and finish it up with a 1, 2, 7.
I'm going to start with Running for Home. Running for Home, I've noticed at Parx, for whatever reason, a lot of times when the trainer and the owner are the same dude or girl, those horses win. And that's what we have the case here, especially when the trainer also has another horse in this race. I think that's the 5 horse. So I would suspect that he would put his horse in a race where he thought it would beat the other horse that he trains. Wouldn't you think so, Terry?
Yeah.
That's how I would look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got their self-interest at heart. You know, maybe they say otherwise, but subconsciously you probably can't help it. What's to Blame, the 2 horse? You and Charles like that one as the top pick. Did run the top last race speed figure. It is the first off the claim for trainer Michael Simone, and Simone is my daughter's name, so I got a little bit of affinity for that trainer. 26% winner. Hasn't come close to winning at this level, though, of late, so it's going to have to do something it hasn't done in a bit. Somebody, yes, that indeed is the name of the horse. Somebody won 2 in a row, both of which were at today's distance, where the horses run 5 times with 2 wins, a second and a third. Stepping up in class, though, as well, so we'll see if it can handle the step up. And then finally, Jump for Alex was a tough call for me over There Is a Storm Brewing, that 1 horse. Both are running at the lowest level in the last 10, but it looks to me like the 1 just doesn't really care for Parx at all after the first 2 trips on the track after coming in from the Naira circuit. So maybe the 3rd time he takes to the surface, but until he shows me he likes Ben Salem dirt, I'm going to wait for him to show one. I'm going to do an exact the key box again, Terry, with the 3, hoping to get a decent price on that horse over the 2, 4, and 5. And maybe if I had any money left, I'd toss the 1 in there too. I think I do have a few bucks left.
You do.
Yeah, I'll just leave it be. Race number 4, our good friend Christopher D'Souza, he likes the 1 horse to win $10 on the good C-zone score and a 1-5 exacta box for a Cinco. For a 5, what do they call that? A sawbuck, right, Terry? The 5.
Yeah, sawbuck. That's right.
Where does that come from? Any idea?
I have no idea. No.
Yeah, I have no idea either. Somebody might know where it comes from. Google it real quick. All right, so race 5 is 7.5 furlongs on the turf, claiming $20,000. Non-winners of 3 in their lifetime. Purse is $28,000, and I guess lifetime actually means lifetime here. 7.5 furlongs. Yesterday was the first one that they ran. It was won by Tactical Speed. I know on the charts, the horse, I think, was 5th or something like that at the quarter-mile marker, but was only 1 length off the leader. So I consider that to be Tactical Speed. And it broke from post position number 4, Terry. So if you're looking for Tactical Speed in race number 5, it sure looks like, it looks like there's 2 that want the lead and everybody else will be chasing.
That's right. The 2 has the most speed, but there's a little teeny bit of speed with that 9 horse. And of course, there was with the 4. The 4's out of there now, so that doesn't matter. And the 8 has a really nice overlay. It goes from like, 6 to 5 or 8 to 5 to 4 to 1. The 9 has a small overlay. It's going from just under 5 to 1 to 5 to 1. So, and almost all of these have pretty decent C-zone numbers. So
it should absolutely be a pace everybody's comfortable with. Speaking of the pace, let's look at the race shape. Well, you got 4 horses that definitely want to be towards the front. If you're looking at that, my masterpiece, the 9 horse, the closer in here, scoring as the highest early speed horse according to recency bias. That makes the 9 officially a left arrow horse. Horses that want to come from the back at today's early pace, based upon their normal running style, nothing extra, should put them more forwardly placed. As they come down the stretch, Miss Alex. It looks like a lot of horses named Alex running today. The 3 horse closer in the closer column does have some late speed, but there's plenty of them, with the exception of the 9 to 5, the 2 and the 12, that do have some giddy up and go at the end. Our combination score puts Distorted View as the top horse, 6 points better than the next closest horse. That's usually pretty good, about a length better. So if it runs to this form, the 8 wins. The 8 wins by about a length, Terry, but neither one of us have the 8 as our top choice.
No, I like the 10 White Lilacs. She has a perfect record at Parx Racing, winning 2 out of 2 starts there, drops in class today, and can improve at the shorter distance. She's actually my pick of the day at Parx. I like the 8 as the second choice, Distorted View. She drops in class today, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Cash on First is my 3rd pick, number 5. She can improve at the shorter distance, and returning to the turf can also help her. And then I like the 1 as my long shot. She finished 2nd in her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer who has 28% of the horse races when taking a horse from the dirt to the turf. I'm going to bet $8 to win on number 10.
So Charles in the race number 5, 12 returns to the turf, not shown in form, has 2 starts and 2 seconds, win, place, and show. All right, Razor, good to see you again, my friend. If you haven't checked out Razor's show, make sure you do so. Still looking forward to doing that combo show, bro. So hit me up, gtsrichb@gmail, or you can DM me on Twitter at HRTRich. Let's work something out. Let's do some sports. Let's do some live handicapping. Let's have some fun, Razor. Let's make it happen. In the first race, Joey, the 5 horse won. Went 5 and then 6. And then I think the 2 horse, Terry, is that how it went?
5-6-2.
5-6-2. So my brain is working a little bit better than normal today. I also is going to start with the 10 horse White Lilacs. Right, Lilacs. Yeah. Been off since October, and one off the break. Has a second off the break too, I think, if I remember correctly. But it's never been off this long between races. 2 for 2 on the Parx grass, which includes that win first time off the bench. So it does have a history of coming through in this circumstances. Distorted View running at the lowest level in 10 races. Again, Sophia Vivas on there means the horse is getting a weight break. And while the horse is in the field, it is the most consistent performer. And there you have the strong simulation odds and the very strong tied for strongest C-zone score. Number 1, Miss Kilio. Should be closing, has done some pretty good work on the turf at this level. And then the 9 horse, My Masterpiece, another horse that's been on the sideline since October, does have decent workouts getting ready and a decent turf record. Trifecta for me, 1, 8, 10, over to 8, 10, over to 1, 5, 8, 9, and 10.
All right. In this race here, let's see, this is a 6th race coming up, right?
Yep.
Okay.
In the 6th race, you confused me for a moment there, Terry.
I confused myself for a moment. So
it's Barry Knight, 43 people watching. Again, I agree with you. This is excellent free content, Barry. The amount of the information that we put out there, and a lot of what we do, we've come up with on our own, is proprietary, and I agree it's second to none. And if you like what we do, please go ahead and hit us up with some thumbs up on Facebook and on YouTube. It helps us with their algorithms. Yes, sir. We'll message you. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting together. So please, thumbs up on Facebook, thumbs up on YouTube. Help us with their algorithms. Race number 6, much like race number 1, 4.5 furlongs for a bunch of first-time starters. Terry, we saw that the horses that were close to the front kind of hang on in that first race. I'd imagine if the 6 got a better break, it probably would have been your winner. The one thing here is keep an eye out for whoever's tail is being held, Terry, because we don't want to see our pick with its tail held. So speaking of which horse do you not want to see its tail being held?
The number 7, Carla Milla. She's a first-time starter, has a good furlong workout on May 16th, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Kiss for Luck, the 5, also a first-time starter. The dam has 5 winners from 5 starters, so she's perfect with that. 2 of those were stakes winners. Has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer also. Miyamo? I don't know.
Miyamo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Number 6, third pick. She's has a high percentage winning trainer, and the blinkers are added today. Number 2, Divine Magic's my long shot. She showed early speed in her debut race and faded at the end, so adding blinkers may help her today. I don't have a bet in this race.
I also started with Carmelina. Best workout series of all the first timers in here. I really like the April 22nd workout, 3 furlongs, 35 and 2. I think this horse is going to get out quickly, provided they don't have its tail in their hands. Kiss for Luck does have the second best workouts, again, in my opinion. Also has a pretty quick 3 furlong workout and a nice 4 furlong workout of 48 and 1 on May the 9th. So the horse looks like it's trending in the right direction for today. Divine Magic, the 2 horse, showed some early speed in the debut and then faded. So maybe today adding some blinkers will help it, as Terry says, keep its mind on business. Where are you, Terry? You left me hanging. Mia Mio, the 6 horse. I guess improv is not Terry's forte. Pennington Service, they've teamed up together 12 times. They've won 6 of them. Would like to have seen a maintenance workout since the debut. Trifecta, let's go with the 5-7 with the best workouts. Over to 2, 5, 6, 7. Over to 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So if one of those 2 wins, I was watching, and I think this was a great idea by Jonathan Stetton. So I like to give people credit where credit is due. He says if you feel like you can get the exacta worked out, so in this case, the 5-7, to do a superfecta, just go 5-7, 5-7, all. And if you hit the exacta, you also hit the superfecta.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so that's a great idea. No, you liked it. All right, fantastic, Christopher D'Souza. Appreciate that, because YouTube doesn't let us know who gives us the thumbs up. They just let us know we got them. We have how much time for race number 2? 5 minutes to post
6
that?
minutes. About 6 minutes.
So that means we have plenty of time to cover our thoughts for race number 7, which is one of 2 back-to-back 7 furlong races. In this case, it's claiming 7,500. Non-winners of 4 in their lifetime, Terry. So you got some multiple winners in here. 7 furlongs does favor tactical speed. About a third, 32% of the horses go gate to wire. Very strong inside 3 bias. 4 through 7 outperform 8 and plus, Terry. Again, inside speed is the way. So if inside speed's the way, on the inside, you do find the 2 and the 3 have the majority of the speed, although the 1 might try to join the party.
That's true, but the 3 has the most speed, so I think that 3 should get to that quarter pole first, as long as it gets a clean break. As far as overlays go, the 2 has a overlay. It's supposed to be similarly to odds 2-1. It's 9-2 on the morning line. And then the 8, 4, and 2 have pretty good Z-zone numbers. Everybody else is a little bit less.
Yeah, everybody else might be struggling to keep up the pace, as they say. So we're in race 7 and our early pace, late pace combination. So the 1 and the 4, those 2 have not been close, not within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line in their most recent races. So you basically have 3 horses that want to get on the lead. The 7 horse without a view is the EP type. So it can be the pilot or co-pilot, not lead dependent, probably like the 3 or the 2 of that combination. The 3-horse has the 5-point early pace advantage. So if it steps on the gas, Mazel 18 probably going to be your leader at the quarter-mile marker. When they come home, Tonola, huge late pace advantage over everybody else. Whenever you see a horse with a 10-point advantage like this, one you got to include probably in your exactas and trifectas because it can close pretty well. Late speed, early speed, that combination shows that it's a very competitive race in here. The 8-horse being one that if it gets off to a better start, could get into the mix. The 3-horse with all that early speed, if it shows a little bit of late legs, could be in this mix too. I feel like this was a very competitive race to me. Terry, what did you think?
Yeah, I do too. Christopher, though, in the 6th race, likes the number 4 to win. So,
all right.
Anyway, I like the 7 in here, Without a View, as my top pick, going for a 2nd win in a row. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Perfect Mistress is my 2nd pick, the 2-horse. She won her last race at Parx Racing. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Twirling Wind, number 1, is my 3rd pick. She finished 3rd versus similar in her last race. And the rail post is winning at a 22% clip. Then I like number 3 is my long shot. She drops in class today, so which is the high percentage winning jockey. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to play the 1-2-7 with the 6-7-9 with the 1-2-7 with the 2-4-9 in the last leg.
Scary Creations, who you better listen to, because when Scary puts a pick out there, it works. It says Mazel 18. That one has the best bet of the day, a 10-1 morning line. Speed of the speed dropping. If I get anything near the morning line odds, 2-fisting it to the window. Okay, when you 2-fist it, is it a beer and a shot or a beer and a beer, Terry?
I think it's a beer and a shot. Yeah.
Beer and a shot. Let's get some votes on the bottom. Is it a beer and a beer or is it a beer and a shot if we're 2-fisting it? I don't drink anymore, but for me, it was probably borderline beer and a shot or shot and shot when I back in those days, which is why I quit drinking. I had a dude, where's my car moment, and that was it for me. All right. In the race 7, Perfect Mistress, quicker fractions last out. Very effective at the distance, 5 times, 2 wins, 2 seconds, but is stepping up a little bit in class here. Without a View, your first pick, my second choice. This Without a View, same fractions early last time, and then faster fractions in the second half of the race. And that one was at 7 furlongs versus 6. Today you got Sophia on board. A Mazel 18, Scary Creations' best bet of the day, where he's going to double fist it to the window with a shot and a shot if it wins. Dropping in class, it's the lowest level in its last 10 races, but this horse is all over the place. Has the most upside in the field and the most downside in the field. So if you get the most upside horse, I agree with you. It's going to be one that you're going to run to the window and probably catch as a winner. And then finally, the 4-horse, Don't Tell Frankie, of all of those horses left, is the most successful at the oddball 7 furlong distance. Pick 4 for me, 2-3-7 over the 4-6-9, over the 1-2-4-7, over the 4, 5, and 10. And to be honest with you, Terry, I almost didn't do any pick 4s today because I felt like these races were all upset capable.
Yeah, they are.
And then Christopher D'Souza, race 7, likes the 6 or the 8, win, place, and show on that late pace number. So we should be closing in on race 2. Indeed, we are.
Yeah, they're loading.
So that 4-horse that both of us like, Terry, is indeed the 4-5 favorite. That 3-horse that I'm doing my exacta key box around, the 3, 25-1. So no offense to you and your pick 4, Terry, but I would certainly not be at all upset if the 3-horse came home the winner.
No,
but I wouldn't be upset either if it finished second with the 2-horse. So if it went 2-3, I would be pleased, and we can both advance on to the next round.
All right, sounds good.
They got that really long shot now, 30-1. So nobody likes that horse but me, eh?
It looks like Charles B in the 8th race likes the number 2 horse. So
the 2-horse, okay, he's on. Yeah. He's the 4-horse, the favorite, getting a little bit chippy in there. And there goes. We're gonna get the 5-horse, I think, just because the 3-horse. Everybody freaking out in there. So I think you got the 4-horse, the 5-horse. I think the 4-horse threw off the rider right in the gate. Looks like the 4-horse is still on the ground, but he just got up, so that's good. No, that was the 4-horse. So the 4-horse is scratching, folks.
Oh boy.
Yep. 4-horse is out. So I'm going to quick change my bet, Terry.
Okay.
You want to change yours quick?
Yeah, I do. I want to,
because they're gonna back all the horses out. There's no question. And even if the 4 does get back into this race, I wouldn't want him anyway.
Yeah, go back here to what we're doing here, the second race, right?
Yeah, so I'm still going to go with that 3 on top, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 7 in there as my other choice. So
I'm going to put the 3.
So race, let's go back to the pick. So I'm going to go 4, 1, 2, 3, 7. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 7. Don't like the fact that I forgot to tell the thing to be black, the font color, but now we got that fixed. And then we're going to go back to race number 2, and we're going to change this to the 1 over the 1, 2, and 7.
Let me see here. Race 2.
So with them pulling out all the horses, Terry, I think they're going to scratch the 4 horse. That's my guess. Did they scratch? They haven't scratched him yet. They had to scratch him if you flipped on his back, right?
Usually they do.
I haven't seen anybody hop up onto the starter gate to remove the 4 from the and there they go.
They scratch it?
Or was it the 3 that flipped over? I don't know. Yes, it's the 4 that scratched. Okay. So they are scratching it. So we probably have a few minutes. You want to go through the next race?
Sure.
All right. So that's race number 8 then. Race number 8, again, I said back-to-back 7 furlong races. Race 8 is indeed a 7 furlong. Hey, Grandma, how are you? They say good morning. Check your email. Yeah, he does okay. Race 6 likes the 2. Got the 4 horse in race 2. Yes, unfortunately, Charles, that one's going to be on the sidelines after its antics. Flipping over. 7 furlongs claiming 7,500. Non-winners have won in a year, and that's since February 23rd. So that's just a couple of months. So we mentioned 7 furlongs does favor early speed, Terry. You do find that about 30% of the horses go wire to wire, and then strong inside 3 bias. 4 through 7 outperform, 8 and out. In race number 8, inside speed, there really isn't any. It's all on the outside.
No, it is. It's the 8, the 5, and the 2. They all have the speed in here. And then the overlays are the 5. As you can see there, it's I don't know, 5 to 2. It's 5 to 1 the morning line. The 9 is supposed to be less than even money, and it's 5 to 2 on the morning line. The 8 and the 9 have the most Z-zone numbers, but the rest of them don't have too bad of ones.
So in the pick 5, you're going to get the favorite now, right, Charles? I think that's the one you're going to get in its replacement. Yeah, because it's the pick 5 and not the you still got a shot. This is the favorite ones. Right now, your 4 horse is going to be, well, the 1 or the 2 look like the favorites now. So I don't know which one's going to end up being the favorite, but I suspect it'll be one of those 2, Charles. And if you had a choice between the 1 and the 2, which one would you pick?
Who, me?
Charles.
Charles, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
you already know what I'd pick.
He's got the pick 5 in there, so he's the one that with the money on the line in that respect. In the 8th race, our way to the winner's circle worksheet shows us that there's a lot of very versatile horses in here with the 6, 7, the 8, and the 9. Everybody else kind of wants to be forwardly placed. So if the 2, 3, 4, and 5 go, it's funny because the 2, 3, 4, and 5 want to be forward, but all the speed is on the outside, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. So it's going to be a very interesting race. If you look, everybody's in the 80s on the early pace. So this is going to be one that could get off to a quick start. The 9 horse Blunt Force not only has the most early speed, has the most late speed as well. One of those horses that I say, if you can't pass what you can't catch. And it does have a 9-point early pace, late pace advantage over everybody else. Again, when you get to borderline the 10-point difference, it's a horse you absolutely have to have in your picks. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to win, but does mean it should be hyper competitive. Terry, you think it's going to win?
Oh yeah, I mean the 9 fixed everything. Blunt Force finished 3rd versus similar in her last race. Has a high percentage winning jockey and a highest speed figure at today's distance. The 6 on a million. Two of her last 3 races. Parx Racing has a trainer wins 50% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a raptor sprint. Valerie First is the 7. My 3rd pick finishes in the money in 5 races out of her last 5 starts. She won 2 of those. She has a high percentage winning trainer. Number 3, Summary Judgment. She's my long shot. She won her last race at Parx Racing. I have no bets as I ran out of money.
So, manager, we're always telling you, join us, man. We need some handicapping for harness racing, and you ghost us all the time. Go ahead and hit me up DM me on Twitter at HRT Rich. Let's get some harness content on horse racing today. In fact, we'll change the name from horse racing today to harness racing today, just for you, the manager. In the 8th race, I don't have any bets, Terry, because I ran out of money with my big pick 4 at the end there. But Beyond a Million, the 6 horse, is a top last race speed figure horse. I love these kind of horses because they're all or nothing. 14 races at Parx, won 6 of them, so a little bit less than half. You're going to get good odds on horses that are all over the board. Blunt Force just missed at this level last out. He's a good fan of the distance. 9 races, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and 3/3. Again, Michael Simone, second off Acclaim, 28%, 29% angle. And this horse was the favorite last time out as the first off the claim, and he wins 28%. Next time around the track with a beaten favorite. Strong overlay there, too, with a great C-zone score. 4, Lean On E when you're not strong, is going to drop in class half a length away from winning the last 2 first up efforts. So like today, coming off the bench, showed that it runs well fresh. And then the 5 horse Fast Intentions, very strong overlay in here, Terry. 3 consecutive speed figure increases. Again, Barry Meadows in his book, Skeptical Handicapper, says that is an alpha angle, winning at 15% or more. Toss in the fact that it had better pace numbers across the board last out. Of course, you absolutely have to consider. Again, no bets for me, Terry, because like you, I have rabbit ears for pockets. Horse you get to scratch in the pick 5. Well, it's the favorite that wins only. The track that changed that way in the country, which is fair to horse players. You get to scratch in the pick 5, whether it's the favorite that wins only track that. So what does that mean? Does that mean
they count it as a winner? Whatever horse was scratched, they count as a winner. And so they'll have two different tickets then, because there'll actually be an actual winner. And one of the things I liked was in the old days on the old cards, you could put an alternate in there. So if your horse was scratched, they would take the alternate. But I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah, I think they should do that, though. Don't you think, though, Terry? I think that's the fairest way to go.
I do. Yeah, I think you should be able to do an alternate.
So. Yeah, and I think you should only be able to do an alternate. Maybe if you single a horse, I don't see why you would need an alternate if you have 4 horses or something along those lines. But if you do single a horse, I do think you should be able to get an alternate. And there's no question that somebody could write a script. That would be a real easy script if you just pick one horse. To go ahead and say, okay, you only picked one horse in this leg. If it scratches, who's your alternate? I think anybody could do that. That has any software programming skills. So the 3 horse is going in now. That the 2 horse Charles is going to be your play here at 1-1. Reiterate, hopefully for you, it does end up being the winner. Although, as I mentioned, I would not be at all upset if the 3 horse brought home the prize at 25-1. But for your pick 5's sake, Charles, versus a $1 exacta, I'll also accept second place with my 3.
Yeah. Well, the 2's fine with me if it wins. So,
and they're off. And as they start out of the gates, the 3 horse has emerged as your leader, Terry, just a little bit ahead, but you got 4 horses across the track trying for the lead. Right now, it looks to me like the 6 horse, Call the Popo, is indeed the one that is setting the tempo. 4 horse to the outside of to in between horses. Looks like it's trying to get forward, though I think the jockey's probably asking him for a little bit too much too early out of the 5 horse. I do like the way the jockey's riding on the 3 horse. He's kind of standing up on the horse, but starting to tail off a little bit. 7 looks like it's moving the best down the stretch here, although the 2 horse is to the outside of that 7. It is looking like it has a lot of horse left for you, Charles. My 3 horse that I wanted to be in the exacta box looks like it's calling it a day. So my exacta box might not play out, although maybe the jockey can find a way to re-rally now that he's going wide. Right now, the 5 horse is your leader at 12-1, but it does look like the 7 horse has every intention on running by. But the 2 horse on the rail has snuck through for Charles and his pick 5. So Charles, looks like you're going to move on, and it's going to go 2 and then 7 and then 1. 2-7-1, and then the 6 horse coming in third, 2-7-1. All right, Charles. Well, I'm happy for you, my man.
Me
you
too.
Continue forward.
Yeah, and I get 2 daily double tickets. I get the one because of the scratch, and I get this other one with the 2.
And then JT Brew in race number 5. We'll go back to race number 5. That must be like a best bet for JT Brew over there. Number 8,
Yeah.
Distorted View. Our second choice for both of us. Yes, indeed. So we agree with you, JT. We like that one. If like JT, Charles, Scary Creations, Grandma Horse Racing, no matter who's watching, please, if you got any picks you like, share with us and kindly share why you like them too. Give us some insights as to your handicapping and your thoughts on that. Race 9, the second of 2, the last 2 races in here, Terry. The 9th race at Parx today. This one's going to be 6 furlongs, optional, claiming 16,000 non-winners of 1 in a lifetime. They've never won 2 races, a claiming price of $16,000. 6 furlongs again, tactical speed, a little bit more than 33%, go wire to wire. There is an outside to inside bias, Terry, so maybe outside speed in race number 9. And Buffalo Shuffle is sort of on the outside and certainly looks like it has plenty of speed.
Oh, yeah. This horse should get to the quarter pole first. Got most speed of all the horses in here, according to our simulation. And then as far as the overlays go, you've got the 2, which is a pretty nice overlay. It's almost double. And it's supposed to be like 8-5, and it's 4-1 in the morning line. Then you got the 5 that's got a pretty nice one, too, 7-1. Simulated odds and 12-1 on the morning line. The 3 has a very small overlay, though. It's supposed to be 9-2, and it's listed at 5-1 on the morning line. And then all of them but the 3 have pretty decent C-zone numbers.
Yeah, Buffalo Shuffle, look out. A little bit of overlay, early speed, strong C-zone score. And again, horse that we both passed on. Hopefully we don't regret that in race number 9. Our way to the winner's circle worksheet for race number 9 shows us that indeed there is not really a true E-type that absolutely 1,000% needs the lead. Got a couple pressure types in the 1 and the 4. They'd probably prefer the 2, the 5, or the 7, or even the 3 or the 6 to take the lead and then sit behind them comfortably. Looks like the 5 horse, Buffalo Shuffle, should be the one that takes the lead. The 2 horse, Iconic Legacy, right behind, Quick Return. So yes, between the 1 and the 4, they should be in a stalking position. Coming down the stretch, Commissioner G has a 5-point advantage over everybody else. The strong pace, early pace, late pace combination shows that this is a very competitive race from top to bottom. That's also what the race shape shows us, Terry. One of the reasons why I had a difficult time really putting together a pick 4 at the end here. This race, the next race, I think they're both wide open.
Yeah, that's right. I agree with you there. So anyway, I like the 1 horse. Palm Island is my first top bet. Won his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Midlander is my second choice. Number 7 was bumped and did not finish his last race. So I'm going to throw that one out. Prior to that, he finished in the money in 8 out of 9 races, and he won 2 of those races, has a high percentage winning trainer. Ionic Legacy is the 2 as my third pick. Won 3 of the last 6 starts at Parx Racing and has the best start speed, the fastest among today's starters. Then that 6 is my long shot, likes Parx Racing, finishing in the money 58% of the races and likes the distance. He's been in the money 85% of the time at this distance, and he's won 29% of those starts. Again, I'm out of money, so I can't make any bets.
There was some inquiry in that race. I looked at it. I'm just curious why, but they went official 2-7, 1-6 in race number 2. 2, 7, 1, and 6. In the 9th race, I have the 7 horse Midlander as my top choice. It is probably the top performer in this field, Terry. As you mentioned last time out, didn't finish the race. It fell. It's right back, and it was the favorite. If he isn't hurt, the horse was the favorite against a lot of these horses in here. We'll see if he can run back. I hope he's not hurt. Iconic Legacy, the 2 horse, dropping off of a win. Trainer Linder Lewis Jr. has done that twice this year, and he's gone 2 for 2 back to the winner's circle. So let's see if he can make it an even 3 for 3. Palm Island, the 1 horse, coming off the maiden win. That's after arriving from Monmouth and Gulfstream Park on the track drop. This one's out of the Todd Pletcher barn, but I'm not the biggest fan of horses coming out of the maiden win without the top last race speed figure. Although if it was in the Pletcher barn, you got to figure it's quality horse. 4 horse Quick Return, track dropper from the Naira circuit, does have a bullet and go work in here, which I like. So the 1 workout at the Parx was really fast. So maybe it's going to like the track. I don't have any bets in here, but if I did, I would probably think about boxing these 4 in a that 4-horse really, that's why I put it in my pick 4 too at the end, because I think it has a shot to win this one. Final race of the day is the 10th race. This time around, they're going to run a mile and 70 yards on the turf. Yesterday was the first time that they did run a mile and 70 yards on the turf, Terry. And much like the 7.5 furlong, it was won by Tactical Speed. I think the horse was 6th, but only 1 length off the lead. So again, in contention right from the jump, and then went on to close that race out. I think it was the 5 or 6 position. So much like the 7 furlong, the mid post did all right. 10 for this mile and 70 yards in the race 10. Terry, early speed in this respect, everybody's got a bunch.
Yeah, the 2, 3, 4, and 7 all show lots of speed. So who knows going to get anybody's guess who gets there first. The 7 looks like the only overlay that I really see here. It's supposed to be like 7.5 to 1, and it's 10 to 1 in the morning line. And then the 4, 7, 9, 2, and 1 all have decent C-zone numbers.
So JT Brew says Sovereign Change is his choice in this race. That's the 10 horse, Terry, one I have. And one hopefully that Mr. JT Brew is correct on. He sticks with turf race. Is going to box the 1, the 5, the 10, and the 13 in his trifecta. So let's hope it goes 1, 5, 10. You and I could be on the same page then together.
Sounds good.
So, well, I mean, it wouldn't be good for you because you don't have that 10 horse in there.
Yeah.
As far as our final show hearing of the race to the winner's circle, this one is backloaded, Terry, with a lot of closers, PC types, middle of the pack back. So the 2, the 3, and the 10, that trio, if they can run reasonable fractions, would have a shot maybe to go wire to wire. Of that group, the 10 horse, the 2 horse, Esor, does have the most early speed. The 3 horse doesn't really need it, being a tactical EP type. 5 horse is a pressure horse. That one's where is that? Only down here. So, but there's really not a big gap from worst to first in here. So again, I think that any horse, if it really wanted to, could get to the lead if it really pressed the octane. Brindisi has the most late speed. Again, very competitive from the top 4 horses. Just looking at the early speed, late speed numbers again. I mean, look at all these numbers, all within a tight range. I think this again has a chance to be a very competitive race. I think if you're 4th or 5th at the quarter-mile marker, you probably have the best shot to win, Terry. I've already agreed with JT on that 10 horse. It looks like Charles likes the 1 and the 4 horse on those Tampa horses. I got those in my picks too. What do you like, Terry?
I like Bustin' Up as my first pick. The 4 horse won his last race at Tampa Bay Downs and switches to high percentage winning jockey. Ezor is my second pick. The 2 horse has won 2 races out of the last 3 races and has a high percentage winning jockey. R. Mark Stevens, the 9 is my third pick, finished 3rd on the dirt in his last race, and he won the race prior to that. And then number 7, Strawberry Cone, is my long shot. He won his last race at Parx Racing, out of money, so no bet for me here.
So you have the 1 horse listed as your 4th horse here, Terry.
Oh, I do?
And you said the 7. Do you want to flip that around, or do you want to go with Gambling Czar?
No, it's the 1. I mean the 7.
The 7. All right, so we'll go back and just change that to the 7.
I will.
I got it already, so we're already done with that. In the final race for me, I like the 10 horse too. I am in agreement with JT Brew on the 10 horse. What's interesting to me is the horse won its maiden race in the 6th try. It was the only time that the horse had run on the grass. And it's interesting to me that Paco is on this one instead of the 5 horse who we rode last time out. Bustin' Up, as you mentioned, comes in from a very successful meet at Tampa Bay from a very successful Jose Delgado barn. So you know it's a pretty good horse. Missed by a nose in its only Parx run on the grass. Brindisi, 3rd race off a layoff. That's Charles's favorite angle. Dropping in class and trying turf. Did try this approach once before in its most recent 3-race cycle. Didn't run so well on the turf, but that was versus non-graded stakes company for a $100,000 purse at Monmouth. That isn't this race today. Number 1, Gambling Czar, also coming in from Tampa as well. Last race was better than it looks, as the horse did pop some better early fractions. Much like you, Terry, I am out of cash. So I am going to sit on the sidelines and hope one of these horses completes my pick 4 for the day. That wraps up all of our picks in there, Terry, for today. Here you can see the entirety of the card. In race number 1, the 5 horse won. Race number 2, the 2 horse won. And then we're off to race number 3. So if you're doing a contest at Parx today, that's going to be the first timer. So here's what we like for the rest of the card, Terry. Tomorrow, Charles, the big Boopa, comes back. And we're going to work on Horseshoe Indianapolis, where we've had some success the last couple of weeks. So hopefully we can continue with that trend. On Thursday, we will go ahead and do Belmont Park. Friday, Charles and Terry, Tom and I get back together again for 4 on Fridays. Looks like we're going to do the Curragh, I think, in Ireland. So that should be a fun day as well. Of course, tonight, Jamie and Sean on Horse Center, 8 p.m. Tune in for that so you can see when Terry is going to ask the jockey to come to Golden Gate Fields. I will join Sean tomorrow night on Horse Center. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, if you like what you see, which I know you will, you can go and subscribe on YouTube and hit the little bell so you get a notification of any of our shows, and give us a thumbs up and a like, and then follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yes.
Yep.
That's the most popular one, and you forget it. It's popular, but it's going to to get banned, I guess.
I know.
States, so.
Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us a thumbs up there and that kind of likes and things like that, and tell everybody you know. So
yes, indeed.
Also have a great week, and I hope everybody is doing well.
Indeed. I certainly hope that everybody, a couple things before you go. One, if you like baseball, down in the description below, there's a link to Picks with the Professor. Make sure you head on over there. He puts his statistics knowledge to work to find some edges in the MLB plays. He also has a YouTube show. If you go over there in the comment section, be loud, be proud, and let him know Horse Racing Today sent you. If you head on over to horseracingtoday.net, you'll see a link in the menu that says HRT gear. You see Terry sporting the green 5. You can look as good as Terry. I mean, hard to do, I'll admit, but you can look as good as Terry with the HRT gear to help you catch up and also help support the show. Finally, we certainly hope that today, 16 sim odds, 9-1, race 10. So he likes the 16 in race number 10. All right, Christopher, you got that. And the 10-16. There you go. Race 10, the 16 horse, folks, for Christopher D'Souza. We hope that no matter what you do today on this terrific Terry trifecta Tuesday, that you have God's grace. Every single thing that you do ends up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Thanks again for joining us. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow with Charles as we try to tackle Horseshoe Indianapolis, better known as Indiana Grand.